Throughout history, ancient texts and holy books have spoken of mysterious beings who descended from the sky. Sumerian records called them the Anunnaki, powerful figures who shaped humanity's earliest stories. But could there really be a connection between these ancient gods and the supernatural beings mentioned in the world's most well-known religious texts? In this video, we'll explore the possible links between the Anunnaki and the figures found in sacred scriptures. Is it all just coincidence? Or could these stories point to a forgotten truth about our origins? Let's look at the evidence and see what answers history might reveal. The Anunnaki appear in ancient Sumerian texts as powerful beings who came down from the heavens. According to these stories, they played a key role in shaping early human civilization. Some even say they created humanity itself, blending their own essence with that of early humans. These tales describe the Anunnaki as rulers and creators, beings who guided the first people and influenced the course of history. But what's most intriguing is how similar stories appear in other ancient sources as well. Across various holy books and ancient scriptures, there are frequent references to mysterious beings who interacted with humanity in extraordinary ways. Perhaps the most well-known of these are the Nephilim, mentioned in the Book of Genesis in the Bible. The text describes them as the offspring of the sons of God and the daughters of men, living on earth during ancient times and often depicted as giants or beings of great power.
Genesis 6:4. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God went to the daughters of humans and had children by them. They were the heroes of old, men of renown.
This passage has puzzled scholars and readers for centuries. Who were these Nephilim? And what does it really mean for the sons of God to have children with the daughters of the men? Some interpretations say the Nephilim were simply legendary heroes, giants in ancient stories. But others believe these lines hint at something much more mysterious. Powerful beings from beyond our world who came to Earth and left their mark on early humanity. Interestingly, these ancient stories share striking similarities with the tales of the Anunnaki from Sumerian texts. Beings who also descended from the sky, interacted with the humans, and were said to shape the course of civilization. In addition to the Nephilim, the Book of Enoch, an ancient text that, while not part of the traditional biblical canon, has influenced many religious traditions, speaks of the Watchers. These Watchers were described as divine beings sent to watch over humanity, but many of them broke the rules by descending to Earth and interacting with humans. According to Enoch, some of these Watchers shared forbidden knowledge and secrets with humans, fundamentally altering early societies. There are other references too. In some translations, the phrase "sons of God" is used to describe heavenly visitors or powerful entities who interacted with humans, sometimes even taking part in shaping humanity's destiny. Throughout the Old Testament, there are also mentions of the divine council, heavenly hosts, and angels who walk the earth and deliver messages or warnings. Many researchers and alternative theorists suggest that these mysterious figures in the holy texts could actually be ancient memories or coded references to beings like the Anunnaki, powerful, otherworldly visitors who played a key role in the early chapters of human history. What stands out is the consistency of certain themes: beings who descend from the heavens, interactions or unions with humans, the sharing of knowledge, technology, or power, stories of giants, heroes, or legendary figures born from these unions. These overlapping narratives invite us to ask whether such stories are mere myth, or if they could be echoes of a real and much older chapter of our past. Beyond the story of the Nephilim in Genesis, similar accounts appear in other ancient texts as well. For example, the Book of Enoch, though not included in most modern Bibles, describes the Watchers, a group of heavenly beings sent to observe humanity. According to the text, some of these Watchers broke divine rules by descending to earth and forming relationships with humans. This act, it is said, led to the birth of extraordinary offspring and brought forbidden knowledge to early civilizations. The Book of Enoch even details how these Watchers taught humanity things like astrology, metalworking, and the use of plants for various purposes, knowledge that was considered divine secrets at the time. In this ancient text, a group of heavenly beings called the Watchers are sent to observe humanity. However, some of these Watchers become fascinated by human women and decide to descend to Earth. They form relationships with humans, and from these unions, extraordinary offspring are born, often described as giants or beings of great power. But the story doesn't end there. The Watchers also teach humans secret knowledge, everything from the use of metals and weapons to astrology and herbal medicine. According to the Book of Enoch, this transfer of forbidden knowledge leads to chaos and even a kind of fall from grace for both the Watchers and humanity. This tale is remarkably similar to the Sumerian stories of the Anunnaki, heavenly beings who descend, form connections with humans, and introduce advanced knowledge and skills to early civilization, sometimes with unintended or disastrous consequences. References to mysterious heavenly beings aren't limited to the Bible or Enoch either. In many ancient cultures, stories circulate about gods, angels, or sky beings who visit Earth, interact with people, and sometimes leave a lasting legacy. For instance, in the ancient Middle East and Mesopotamia, legends tell of divine councils, groups of powerful beings who decide the fate of humanity, very much like the Anunnaki were said to do in Sumerian lore. Across all these stories we find common themes: beings who descend from the sky, unions between these visitors and humans, the birth of remarkable children or heroes, the passing on of secret or advanced knowledge. These repeated patterns across different cultures and texts lead many to wonder, were these stories all just myths, or are they different memories of the same mysterious visitors, perhaps even the Anunnaki preserved in sacred writings from different corners of the world? When we look at Sumerian stories about the Anunnaki and the mysterious beings in the Bible, some clear parallels stand out. Both describe powerful visitors who descend from the sky and interact with humans. In both traditions, these unions lead to the birth of extraordinary children, giants, heroes, or rulers, unlike ordinary people. Another common point is the sharing of advanced knowledge. The Anunnaki are said to have taught humanity skills like writing and agriculture, while the Watchers in the Book of Enoch introduced secrets like astronomy and metalworking. Interestingly, both sets of stories warn of the dangers that follow chaos, disaster, or even a great flood as a result of these interactions. There are several ways to interpret these ancient stories. Some see them as creative myths, symbols, used by early people to explain their world. Others, like Zechariah Sitchin, believe these accounts describe real encounters with powerful visitors, possibly even from beyond our planet. While mainstream science remains skeptical due to a lack of direct evidence, the striking similarities between Sumerian texts and passages in the Bible keep these theories alive. Are these simply legends, or could they hold clues to a forgotten chapter of our past? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more ancient mysteries.